Hey everyone, this is Erica from Genesis Gifts and More. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I have a very interesting topic to cover today, and it might rub off on people the wrong way. And we can talk about that. I'm always open to hearing other people's perspectives. I like to discuss things and like genuinely think things out. And um, my mission is to hire my intellect and not get stuck. Um, and I think as we get older, that concept gets a little bit harder because a lot of ego gets in the way, and it's harder for older people to listen to younger people, and sometimes younger people do have some great insight and like different perspectives. So I'm always open to hearing other people's perspectives, young, old, whatever. Anyway, so I was on my Instagram and I kept scrolling down, seeing posts about the Virgen de Guadalupe Day, and there were danzas, and it's a pretty big cultural thing in Mexico. And I find that kind of interesting. So, my parents never really talked much about Mexican history growing up. It was just never really a topic. I think they got together way too young and didn't have a full idea of what they were getting themselves into. So they kind of got a little distracted, um, and forgot to look around and see where they are and what's going on around them, and the best way to be of good service. Mind you, I'm Mexican. My parents are Mexican. I was born in Mexico, Durango, Gomez Palacio, Woods. But I've never gone back since I came over to LA. And so I don't have much of a connection in that way to the culture. And I base it off of what I saw. So because my parents were not totally aware of the state um, of politics, or I don't know, just the state of bullshit that's going on. They never discussed Mexican history, like who we are as a people. So I definitely grew up feeling like I had to do what other girls were doing, and sometimes that caused a lot of confusion for me, because there were certain things that we couldn't do. And I couldn't understand why, and I don't think my parents knew how to handle that, so it was never discussed. So you just kind of grow up, trying to fit into the culture around you and what's going on around you. And based on what we watch on TV as well, that kind of tells us all how to be and how to behave and what to think. So I did not get to access that type of programming because we couldn't afford it. No, not really, not necessarily, actually. I'm lying. Because we did have cable, but my dad did not cater to my teenage needs. So I did not like start watching MTV till I was, pretty older. Like I was 15, maybe. It's when I started watching it. So I missed out on a lot of stuff, which is great because now as an adult I get to experience things like Jimi Hendrix, and even the Red Hot Chili Peppers, guys. I'll admit it. I know. I know. I didn't start listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers until I was like 20, 23, 20, yeah, 23. Can you believe that? Like, how did that even happen? I don't know. I'm so deprived. But the point where I'm going at with this is that I didn't have a sense of what it meant to be Mexican, what that even is, and to be Catholic. I didn't feel like Catholicism made complete sense to me. There's a lot of just irrational, bullshit. And yes, it's based on fear. It's based on fear because they don't know, because they get so caught up on, you know, just dumb shit, irrelevant dumb shit. Like, if people are acting up with you, just fucking get them out of your life and move on. That's it. But people don't know how to do that, so they get stuck, and then they kind of like tune out the world around them until it bites them in the ass. If we keep saying like votes don't matter, and we let people that want to vote for pedophiles win the majority vote because we're tapping out and saying like, oh, it doesn't matter, well, by tapping out, we hand them that power. It does matter. It does matter. People were just not showing up. And I think what happened in Alabama is proof of that. We are learning from our mistakes. And when people start to go within, but like within their hearts, start thinking about who you are, why are you here, what are you doing here, what is here, and what's your role, and what's going on, until people get to that point, we're gonna keep repeating mistakes as a society. History, we've seen it has repeated itself many times. And we have also seen that the power of one goes a very long way, right? And we've seen how governments will try to silence that, because at some extent they are threatened. And the question is, why would they, you know what I mean? Unless they're legitimately trying to do something fucked up, then why is that shit still there, man? We have to start tapping into what's going on around us, get uncomfortable, start questioning things, question your religion, especially if you grew up in it as a child, because that means that as a child, your mind believed that shit. And it is fucking things up. I'm sorry, but it is. Listen, we can coexist. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but when your organization is part of really shady shit, and they're hogging onto money that could literally solve world peace, that doesn't add up. And this is not just my opinion. The facts are out there. The data is out there. And in fact, it's in a place where even if they try to hide it, you can still find the truth if you're genuinely serious. But unfortunately, some people learn the hard way, and they'll just keep facing trials and tribulations until they fucking get it. And I pray for those people. I pray that they get it, that they feel what needs to be done and get it done, because it doesn't have to be that complicated. Your job could simply be to be a gentle and kind person. You know what I mean? Which a lot of you already do that, but doing it from a place of a higher consciousness. You're more aware of where you are, what you're doing, why you're there. You're